the Grammys happened. The Grammys happened. And I honestly couldn't be more happier at the outcome of the Grammys. I really genuinely couldn't. I think what happened at the Grammys proves that real music is coming back, that things are about to change, okay? Our whole industry, we're in the middle of a shift, and it's for the better, and I couldn't be more happier. And I'll explain. I'm looking at the results, right? Unreal. First of all, and most of all, Silk Sonic, 4 Grammys. Best record, best song, best R&B song, and best R&B performance. 4 Grammys for these guys. And they risked it for the biscuit. They came out of nowhere. Obviously, they're both established, Bruno Mars, and like they're established artists, but they risked it for the biscuit. They came out of nowhere, they collabed, and they made literally a 70s soul album. Literally. And it got 4 Grammys. Then you look at like Olivia Rodrigo, right? 3 Grammys. 19 years old too. Crazy. Good for her. Best new artist, best pop solo performance, and best pop vocal album. Now, what would you say, like, we're not going to talk about every artist that got a Grammy, but like, Silk Sonic and then Olivia, like, what do they have in common? Their music's different, right? The Grammys awards innovation. Silk Sonic, literally 1970s soul sound. Brought back real, like, just real, the full band, and just the funk and the soul. And fantastic album if you haven't listened to it. I'm sure you all have, right? And then Olivia, she's like a cross. I mean, to me, tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, but my opinion is she sounds like, she kind of reminds me of like, Ariana Grande plus Avril Lavigne, like if they went together, right? She has like some of like the production elements. Some of her songs are kind of Ariana Grande-ish, with like the, her beats and things like that. But then she has like that kind of punk rock feel too, especially with her big hit, Good For You. So these are 2 artists, right? Like Olivia and Silk Sonic. These are 2 artists that are kind of doing it different. It's not the same old stuff, and they're being rewarded for it. So like I said, like Grammys rewards innovation. You didn't see a lot of like the same old trap music or, whatever. Like you didn't see a lot of that stuff get awards. The best rap album actually ended up being Tyler, Creator. And although there's not like a song on that album that I feel like us DJs can play, it's a banger album. Okay. If you haven't heard it, it's a great album. Production wise, lots of uses of like vocal samples, kind of like almost Kanye-ish, for a lot of his songs. And like as a lyricist, he's ridiculous. Super unique voice and like a lot of substance to his music, right? He's not just trying to make hits. He's literally, there's a lot of substance to what he's doing. This all points to one thing for me, okay? If I was going to predict the future, I would say that real music is coming back, okay? When all these artists are making real music again, changing things up, introducing live elements and all this. Not everything's super produced or, the same old trap beats and all that. They're introducing all these live elements. They're risking it for the biscuit. They're coming out with stuff that we haven't heard in ages. And then they're getting rewarded for it. What are other artists going to do? Other artists are going to follow suit. Everybody wants a Grammy. They're not going to just keep making the same stuff they've been making. No, they're going to look at who's winning these awards and they're going to follow suit. So I think in the next year, next 2 years, and in the foreseeable future, we're going to see a lot of great music come out. We're going to see a lot of artists going back to the roots and creating masterpieces. And I just think overall, it's just such a great thing. I couldn't have been more happy. I think the future is bright, DJs. If you're one of those DJs that complains all the time, I hate new music, I hate it all. I won't play it. It sucks. Music today sucks, and it's tough on DJs too, because you kind of think, like music, it's literally what we do, right? If you go years without liking a new song, it can get really discouraging. That's when you start getting the crazy thoughts in your head. Like, maybe it's time for me to retire. Maybe I'm too old for this. I don't like the new music no more. I sound like my dad now. You know what I mean? Like, it can kind of get in your head, and I know exactly what you mean. So if you're thinking that way, or if you've had those thoughts before where it's like, man, like, I don't like any of this music. I just don't get it. Maybe it's time for me to hang it up. Hang in there. There's a lot of great stuff coming. There really, really is. I'm telling you, I feel it in my bones. I know it. I know it.